Hi, my name is Jaden Stith. I'm gonna start off rip with a new thing that I'm testing out. Well, I'm not even gonna say testing out. It's just more so of like a comprehensive roadmap on how to. And my how to for today is stock options. Now, stock options are essentially you going on the market and agreeing to buy 100 of a specific stock at a certain fraction of a cost, but you buying them wholesale. Think of it as going to Costco and buying a 20 box of candy bars, and you're agreeing to buy that Costco box of 20 candy bars because you believe you can go to school and flip each of those candy bars for a certain price that will make it worth your while of the initial lump sum investment. You might put, let's say, $20 or $30 towards that thing. And depending on how much you spend on that variety box of the candy is how much you're gonna decide the fractional cost of each piece of the candy should go for. Engage that. That's literally stock options. Now, here's where I feel like nobody discusses inside of stock options on the YouTube sphere that I haven't personally seen. I need whoever is watching this to be reassured. Big dog, this is money laundering. The stock market is money laundering. I cannot emphasize that enough. You are money laundering and you're figuring out where people are money laundering. The stock options value is contingent under the guise of MLM. It's a money marketing scheme. You are agreeing to buy something under the guise that somebody else will take that contract off of your hands for a significantly higher price, under the guise that they will get a significantly higher price of value for that said thing, making that value worthwhile. But think about that circumstantially as selling the candy bar. If you're near a Costco and they have the 25 box of variety packs of candy, if they're selling it for $8, you know what I'm saying? You're selling your candy, it's like 20 inside there, you sell it for $1. I don't fucking know. But like the math on that, it would have to be a worthwhile investment. Here's how the rich people are doing this in a magnitude where it's money laundering. Because remember, gambling means that there's potential of loss. Money laundering is a potential of loss if what you're doing is found to be deemed illegal. It's like using steroids in sports. It's only illegal if you get caught. If we can't confirm or deny that we find a reason to investigate you as cheating, then it's not cheating. But this is what they're doing. The stock will be $3, right? I'm using this as baseline because I'm gonna be honest with you, large numbers make me anxious and counting out large numbers makes me anxious. So I'm gonna just keep this shit baseline, you feel me? So let's just say the stock is $3, right? Trade options, you can predict the price to hit a certain point during a certain day. What rich people do is, if the stock is $3 and it's in the green, and it's gonna continue to go up. Like there's a bunch of pro buy analysis. They've done their deep dive where they're like, okay, this is a sector that's growing, etc., etc. They'll buy the call option for long in advance. They can either put a put for that long or they'll put a call option that far out. But what they'll do is, if it's a $3 stock, they'll buy the call option for $1. Now, the reason being on why they'll buy the one for the $1 is because you have to also take this in consideration when you're looking at these stock options. Even if you buy it at the specific point of under the guise of it's crossed that specific point, if it's already worth $1, then it's worth more. You have to also look at the numbers and contingency because that's another thing too. If you buy at a certain point, if it's $3 and you buy the trade option that's $1, they're gonna have you put a larger lump sum of capital down to purchase that, which that's another thing they don't talk about with trade options. You're gonna need a lot of money. You can personally do your homework and research and put trade options on strategic stocks inside of sectors that you feel as though have a higher growth potential. And then through that, you can find stuff that's within your price range that you can afford. But at minimum, it's going to be triple digits. At minimum. And not a lot of people are in a position to say, yo, I can comfortably lose $100. That's a lot of money. They don't talk about that on these stock option chains. Your chain is going to go parabolic up or down. You have to be able to stomach that. That shit is that's real. Like, but the thing is on how they protect themselves, because the thing is, rich people, they don't like those swings either. They'll buy it at $1 because the reason being is that the stock will be $3. The call option will be $1, but the break even point, when you read it in the paperwork, it'll show you, look specifically for break even. It'll say that the break even will be like, based off of when you're buying it, like $2.60. You got to look at the break even for each of the call options, because that means that that's what that stock has to hit at and or maintain price gauge wise of when the call option in terms of the date in the future hits for that stock to at minimum give you your money back. Understand that even if it's a cent under that, this shit is worthless and you will lose all of your money. What they do, they'll get that $1, they'll see that the call option is $1, break even will be $2.40. Right? The stock is already at $3. The break even is at $2.40. The call option isn't expiring until 2027. Now, this is how you get the parabolic numbers. The buy pressure is what drives the stock option up. Damn, I can't even spell that shit. Ugh. This looks weird. My handwriting is ass. I hope that like the terms of like usage kind of like helps. But because the break-even price is at $2.40, the call option's already in the green. So even if this stock drops down, let's say, to $2.60, you have to understand from a percentage standpoint how much that would be. The stock would have to drop down 30-something%. It'd be 20-30-something%. That's something that you could personally gauge. If a stock drops 30-something%, it's so far ahead that you can protect yourself, or what they end up doing is it's already in the green. So they know that even if the stock expires or if the call option expires and it maintains that level, it hits $2.60, their break even is $2.40, they'll be in the green and make at least their money back and some. So they feel further comfortable loading up on an additional $1 call option at that $2.60 range. So when it goes back up to $3, it probably won't drop down to $2.60. But if a stock is experiencing that type of volatility, you have to gauge how high it swings and how low it drops. Because if it's gonna swing inside of that, but if the buy pressure, I'm gonna put you some videos inside the jank talking about Fibonacci scales and all that. You can measure those and measure the buy pressure, but if you understand where the market is going based off of, yes, you're gonna have to pay attention to the news. And you're gonna have to do a deeper dive on the politics of it. But if you understand where that gene is going, you can gauge it and build it up from there. So they'll buy the stock option at that specific price point, let's say 3. Say that it's gonna hit 1 by 2027. Break even is at $2.40. The stock drops to $2.70. The call option is going to lose a fuck ton of capital off dribble. They'll double down and then buy it at $2.60. Then they'll ride it back up to $3. Now, the reason why they're getting a fuck ton of money is because the buying pressure, in order for something to swing an additional 30%, shoots up very high, very quickly. Like, very quickly. So now this stock, it don't even gotta hit $5, $6, $7, $8. It could just hit $3.30. And if it maintains $3.30, their break even was $2.40. So what they do is wait until the buying pressure reaches a certain peak level during a time frame, and then they'll sell it. Because, excusez-moi, the numbers get parabolic off of theoreticalness. It is all theoretical. I look like a fucking mad scientist right now, but legit, it's stupid. You are not tweaking. If you're confused and if you're looking at this like, wait, hold on, time out. What do you mean the money gets parabolic? I mean as in like this. Let's just say these call options, that the call option might be, it'll be in the green, it'll be up 20%, it'll be $250. So you would have to put down $250 to get access to that. If it drops down, if the stock drops down to, by the way, I put down $250 to emphasize the fact that you're getting the stock, fractionally speaking, for lesser cost. So instead of it being $300 for 100 of that specific stock, you're getting 100 of those stocks for $250, right? Now, it drops down to $2.60. That trade option's value now shoots down to, let's say, $160 fucking dollars, just because the buying pressure is low and a couple of people got some puts in. That don't make no fucking sense, right? Cool. They buy it at 160 as well. They double down. So now they got the trade option at 250. They got the trade option at 160. And then, right, that stock that was $3 that shot down to $2.75 because of theoretical buying pressure, like Fibonacci shit, right? The stock goes back up to $3. This 160 jank, if it shoots from $2.75 back to $3 in a day, this 160 option with this 250 option, hold on, let's do some quick maths real quick. 5, 6, got down 11, put 11, carry the 1, you got 2, 3, 4. So now your total like trade option, the money value is $410. Because this shit shot from $2.75 to $3, this shoots down to $160. You have this is how much money and this is the initial investment. The initial investment is $410. What's 250 subtracted by 160? That's how much you lost during that specific day. Now, it shoots back up to $3. Theoretically speaking, you're already in the green because it never touched $2.40. So now the buying pressure is high. And you're XO amount above the thing. So then the numbers start getting funky. So now your initial $410 investment drops down to $300 investment and then shoots up to fucking $750 within one day. And that sounds crazy and that sounds stupid. That sounds nutty because it's like, wait a minute. So out of the 410 that I initially invested, it shot up to $750 for an hour. Not even an hour, for like 15 minutes. And then it just shoots down to like 500. all off the strength of buying pressure. Because it's a theoretical number. And it does that both ways. You can gauge it in the exact same capacity with puts and calls. What rich people are doing are having a significant amount of larger capital to invest and do that wash rinse process that I'm explaining out, but just with more money. So when the percentages shoot up, the capital shoots up. And if the capital has more capital, the capital just gets higher. So now think about it where you're looking at the trade options, and if you go through and you look at the trade options, you're gonna look at trade options for the stocks that you can recognize. You're gonna realize that those trade options are gonna cost $15,000, $16,000, $17,000, $2,000, $795, $850. But then when you see people repost, oh my gosh, I made this parabolic number, it's because they got it at $700. It shot up on a theoretical percentage. They sold it, and that $700 flipped to $850 within like a month. They put a long call option on some shit. Or what they really do, because this is what the big brain does, they get multiple call options, and then they ride the percentage of the ones up to a percentage that they feel comfortable getting their green back because it's already in the green, and then riding the rest of the trade options into a theoretical high. Because with trade options, long calls or long puts, once again, it is all theoretical. You can theoretically lose all of your money, and you could theoretically gain an infinite amount of money. So that $3 stock that I was talking about, baseline, if it's 3, so $1 trade option, the break even is $2.40. Anything above $2.40, you subtract the total price from the break even price that you initially needed to hit. And that's how much money you made. What I'm getting at is, with a $3 stock, if it's $3, shoots up $6. That's 6 subtracted by, we'll say $2.50, because let's say the break even is $2.50. I am switching it to $2.50 strictly so that way the numbers are more cohesive, so that way you can see like the baseline zeros. I know like once you start using like even numbers and stuff like that and doing like 22 and then getting like these funky numbers, it can get overstimulating. I'm literally doing this because I know for me it makes me overstimulated. So if it's 6, 0, turn that into a 5, turn that into a 10, 5, 3. So that's $3.50. So you made $3.50 on top of your initial investment of however much money you put in. That's how you measure just baseline. How they get the parabolic numbers is that they gauge the buy pressure at a sweet spot during a day where it exudes a certain level. So then the way that the trade option calculator maths it out is, oh shit, well, if we this much in the green and it's this many motherfuckers paying it right now, think of it as the true shooting percentages or the PER percentages for basketball players when they're like, oh, well, this player only really pays like 10 minutes a game, but based off of their efficiency and how much points they're scoring during that time frame, if they were to play 36 minutes, which is what the average starter plays, then this is how many points they would have. This is what their 3-point percentage would look like. This is what their, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you get those crazy numbers. That's how when you look at the basketball players and you're like, what the freak do you mean Bobo would average 29 points if he was playing 36 minutes? And you know darn well that don't make no freaking sense because you never seen Bobo average 29 freaking points. But they're going off of the hypothetical if he played 36 minutes shooting and playing at the exact same clip of a small sample size. So baseline, they get their 350, but Like the short term of how they get the parabolic is that they wait till the buying pressure, and then that jank could be literally anything, because you have to remember it's all theoretical. But yeah, I think that's a souped up explanation for call options, and I think that I will be doing another video soon involving this sort of like magnitude and subject matter, because I'm feeling like people don't really explain or talk about stocks inside of a cohesive manner that doesn't involve get rich quick. You're not gonna get rich quick because you don't have rich. Like, you won't get $10,000 because you don't have $10,000 inside of your investment account to put down and comfortably lose. You can get to that point though by systemically getting 10 to 5 to 7% increases by going through and fishing properly. And my goal is to start a journey of proper fishing. But yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, you're supposed to say like and subscribe. I'm gonna put an outro now. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna drop more of these. I'm also drop some random videos too, but I will be dropping some stock stuff too. But yeah, bye.